Okay, be good. If you are ready, I'm also ready, Steve. Applause. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. Give him a standing ovation. Wow. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Sammy, I think that Avco has exact version of the song already.
Wait, we've not got in there. This is why Steve didn't want to play. This is copyright, so don't start.
I know, right?
Too early to start that. Wow. Is this how the studio sessions, is this how it works? Maybe when say Nasi invites you to the studio to come and do a session, is this how it works?
Well, it works basically like this. I mean, we have fun in the studio because music is something that normally moves very well with being relaxed and having fun with what you're doing, because it's art and we share ideas. So in the studio it's always fun, and even though I'm the expert to do something regarding to saxophone, does not mean that Nasi doesn't have a say, because he'll listen and go like, Steve, I love that note you played, but probably I didn't like it. So we deliberate, we talk, play it this way or do it that way, and at the end of the day we have a great piece, and that's how it has to be. So now, that's basically what's happening in the studio.
If you go there and the beat is already created, do you need some days to go learn it so you know what to do, or just as I put you go and he plays it so you start doing something?
That's a good question. Before years ago, yes, I would have to take my time, listen to the tune or listen to the beat and then figure out or construct what I would want to play on it. But these days, no, we've done it over a decade, hitting 20 years now. So we just walk in and then take about 5 minutes to just listen to what has been done already, and that's it. Straight up.
So you do the try and error as you are doing. They are recording everything you are doing.
Well, basically, but then sometimes, say when they give you a portion to work with, for me, what I do is I go to that portion because that's what's more important to me. Then I listen to it over there right in the studio about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then I construct. And the best part of this thing is, say, I don't know, now, after listening to it, sometimes the very first take is always the best. Sometimes, because why dream basu bebre now polishing so much, then it takes more time. Maybe you start correcting some little things there, but then woman free fall, then you just play it and then you listen to it. If there's something little, you touch it and that's it.
See,
normally no me penisa.
Are studio sessions of Steve Bedi very, very expensive? You see, when there is money, boys relax. Money is good. Shatawale will tell you money is good.
Of course, Shatta is right, man. Money is good. Money is good. Well, studio sessions are not that expensive. Obviously, it has to be a bit moderate so that everybody else can afford. You know, and when I'm saying, all the time, level necessary,
I know.
And Shatta Nekai say, a level.
I know my level.
Basa, kakra, but anything, anything. Everything is dialogue. I mean, I've been to studios and till now, me yet be for free without even taking a dime.
Wow.
What I say, it's not always about money. As I say, if you have to, help somebody, you can just do it. I mean, now say.
Are you selective that okay, I will do it for Dada Havko, I'll not do it for Facebook Data because he's a newbie, no one even knows him? Are you selective?
Sometimes I'm selective because these days I try to put myself on because I've also been able to create my own brand, and anything that I feature on, I want it to have a reflex, a positive, reflection, on me and my brand, my career. So, but say a very good mitiena, okay. I just jump on it. Sometimes maybe my manager wouldn't want me to do it, but me, I feel like Charlie. I don't know. My main Fabi being so now, and changing the whole mood, kakra.
Okay,
and then I do it. Yeah.
All right. So we're still talking about one of Africa's finest saxophonists. His name is Steve Bedi. Now let's continue with the conversation just as we've started. I like the pace, so I want us to go with it. Does every song need this, or some songs don't need this?
I think some songs need the saxophone and some don't. But it is art. It's how you project it. Somebody can pick anything that probably everyone else might despise and go like, no, wait there, mediating. But the person can look at it again and see something different. There are dimensions of being an artist or being or artistry. Yeah, there are dimensions of that. So maybe I won't do that level, into what you are seeing, you don't see any good in it. You understand? So the saxophone, to me, I would say that is good for every music, depending how you apply it on that music. As I say, to say freestyle is jammer, groove room. So the saxophone can also do something. Play in a different way, not always the other way that everybody knows how, style kakra, infra, and it becomes great. So to me, I think the saxophone is needed in every song if you want, and if you also know how to apply it.
So it's more on the player than the song.
On the player than the song.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's more about
the experience
the
of the player and the skills of the player than the song.
Perfect.
Now, in doing a little research about you, everywhere I go, Africa's finest. Well, are you the only person playing sax in Africa?
No, there are a lot of people, but I think where you see all of those things is basically how much they appreciate and love me and what they have seen around the world, and they deem it, appropriate to give me such an accolade. And I don't say anything about it, because for me it's not about quote unquote the fame or the appellations, but let my work speak for me. So over here in Ghana, say more around, you've heard quite a lot of things that at least many opportunity kakra and have been able to feature on, and they were all hit songs, and I appreciate it. So
can any research put Steve Bedi at #1 in Africa?
I don't know, I leave it to them, but let the work speak.
Okay.
It's not just about the hype, but let the works over the years speak for itself.
Who is the greatest in your estimation you've performed with or you've done work with so far in your career as a saxophonist?
In the world?
Yes, in the world.
Ish. In the world, well, I had the opportunity to perform with some great acts like Hugh Masekela, Bob James, Richard Bona, quite a number of them, Baba Mal. See now, I'm on the spot, so some of the names. And in Ghana, I must not just talk about those outside Ghana. Ghana, no, I had the opportunity to work with Kodwenchi, Rexoma, Blade, Jedu Bleambule, Bessa Simons, almost all of them. Forian Ponsa, Nana Kwame, Wuta, Ochame Kwame, Kontihini, Kwabna, all of these guys. And it's such a great opportunity for me. I mean, it's all added up to make me who I am today. And
you did not start the business of sax in Ghana, I guess, or you started here in Ghana?
In fact, playing the saxophone, I started everything here. But when it comes to business, at the beginning, it was just a learning process for me. As I say, while I was even working with the Kodwenchis and the Rexomas, it was all, a learning process for me before I finally decided, to launch out. And even with that time, I was learning from other people outside the country as well. It's all like
I'm asking this because I want to know in which of the areas you have higher recognition. Is it here in Ghana or outside Ghana you have more recognition?
More recognition outside Ghana.
Why is it like that?
Well, I think, sir, the fraternity of jazz, or an African jazz or whatever you might call it, more bigger outside the country than Ghana. Yeah. But also, I should be honest with myself and others that when we started in Ghana, it was very, very, very low, very minimal. But Sisiano, out of all the works we have done over the years, are building a much more bigger following when it comes to jazz. So Ghanaians have really, really, really fallen in love and have appreciated what we've been doing over the years, and it has grown bigger. I cannot say, the fact that it's bigger out there, so, I downplay Ghana. Hey, this is my home. And I've done a lot, and these guys are falling in love. Those days, I remembered the first time I performed with Rex at a conference center. Oh, my rehearsal, I find my backstage. I've been performing, and nobody clapped. Years ago, decade ago. And in fact, I got backstage, I nearly wept. Yeah, I'm telling you a true story. And nobody even clapped. Like me, people were looking at me, and I thought at the end of it, at least I would hear some applause. Nothing. But I didn't shed a tear. But I had a word, just in my head that, what, Steve, don't worry. These same people will come back to clap for you and yell, in a few years' time. So just keep working hard. And today it's like that. Ghanaians love me. They appreciate when they shout, "You want to see Steve Bedi?" They go like, "Yeah." And this is what I'm talking about. Ghana or Ghanaians are falling in love with jazz music or contemporary jazz music or the saxophone, and the fraternity is becoming bigger.
This is what people say. They think jazz is for the rich in society or for the affluents. Is it true that jazz is for the rich in society?
Wow. Okay, make us say a wasa, connotation, say it's for the rich or whatever. But I think those who were playing jazz those days that Steve Bedi met were elderly people. And me coming on the scene, being a youngster, probably had, changed something, some way, somehow. Today, in today's world, I don't think jazz music is for only the rich or the affluent, or whatever you might call it. Youngsters are enjoying jazz music even in Ghana here. You'll be surprised. Some of the shows that I performed, and lots of messages coming from youngsters on Facebook, on Instagram, and it's really amazing. And few elderly people also send messages on WhatsApp and all of that. But if you look at the number, the demographic, the youngsters are really doing well. Yeah, because they say
I even hear you are performing at Pama.
Yes, I'm performing at Pama Festival.
Okay, which is also something for the youngsters as well.
Yes, exactly.
Are some of them coming for training? Maybe I want to go to Steve Bedi to also learn how to play the sax.
To be honest, a lot of them have contacted me via social media to undergo some training or learn a few things from me. But I'm somebody that I don't like to waste people's time, So me per se me nyahu time na me prepare because
so you can do some master class of a sort.
Yeah, I travel a lot these days, and me per se me nya chance, then I can prepare something for them. I don't want to start off anything with them and leave them in a limbo. But you're planning from last year into
Now talking about traveling a lot, somewhere in 2016 I think you granted an interview to Flex newspaper where you said that Charlie, Ghana, the system they pay well like that. Has it changed now? Are the people paying good, or is that why you travel outside to go do more of the performances?
Well, Mecca say it has changed. To be honest, it has changed. At that time, maybe pressure also kakra. And but it's the honest truth, I must say that Ghanaians have seen a different dimension of art or music, and though it has to go faster, but but I travel more because out of that exactly. Sometimes me call back now a week time now chance I go again and all of that. It's just because also I want to spread my tentacles, to fly the flag of Ghana, that this Ghanaian boy has been coming around doing stuff. And so
I see. Can I say that the biggest you've done, the biggest performance or platform has been the United Nations Day celebration in Beijing?
Yeah, that was really big. That was really big for me, being one of the first African to actually headline that very event. And I was so happy, when I got there. It was great. They were calling me, a whole lot of names, and I was proud to be a Ghanaian and being on that platform. Like I say, it's one of the heights, I topmost.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So on such a platform, knowing you were performing to a mixed audience, what kind of selection do you do? What kind of songs, specific songs, genres do you do?
I do a bit of. I actually rearrange stuff that they have an idea about, and that's what I put across first to get their attention, and then I feed them also with something Ghanaian. So actually that was what I did. I did something Chinese, and I did a song that His Excellency Xi Jinping's wife, or the first lady, did for HIV and AIDS. Okay. So I took that song, rearranged it, and played it.
So you actually spent time to do that research?
Of course I did. Wow. I went online, picked that song, and when I started it, everybody were like, wow. And they started bringing their phones out, taking videos and all of that. And after that, I played something Ghanaian, like Soliwa and, all of those things, just for them to know that, hey, I'm a Ghanaian, man.
Interesting experience by Steve Bedi. In fact, Africa's finest. No two ways about that. Now, which one do you enjoy? Is it performing with a set of band or doing a solo performance?
In fact, with my team is always great. Performing with my band is the best for me. It's the best. The reason being that it puts you in an easy position or easy mood. cause calories and everything. And to me, I've never fallen sick.
Wow.
With that before. Though I started when I was younger, I had a problem, but it wasn't that. It wasn't as a result of me blowing the instrument. I know Unya cry to sax na starte. I'm telling
Menya
you.
6 packs.
In fact, 7 packs.
Oh, that I have cool. Yeah, na kotobi. Now our fruit say. Now, one thing also beats my mind that when the output is good, who should we give credit to? Is it the instrument or the player?
In fact, it has to go to the player. It has to go to the player. I'm telling you, there are people that have the best or world's best instruments, but they can't exhibit the output of that instrument. They can't really use that instrument to its full potential. So it's the player. It's the player.
When the output is good,
definitely the instruments, wouldn't be effective or wouldn't work well. But if the player is effective and very solid, Masa, when you listen to some people play, even me, when I travel out there and I listen to some underdogs, when they play and I listen, I go like, what? What? Like, and what is going on? But such is the world. Certain opportunities doesn't come to everybody.
Is Ghana celebrating you now for what you're doing?
Yes, I should be grateful. I should be grateful. As human as I am, I would always want more.
Yeah.
Because I'm more celebrated by non-Ghanaians than Ghanaians. But like I said before, it's growing and I'm appreciating it. It will get there. It will get there. Rome wasn't built in a day, so it will definitely get there. And I would never have dreamt of being in the studio here with you, but today here I am. So, step by step.
Process.
And if you are not that type that if you are not ready to take things step by step, you will never even make it.
How many of the instruments do you have?
Ish. Wow, I have 2 of this. 2 of the E-flat alto saxophone, which is what I really play. I have 1 tenor saxophone, and I have 2 soprano saxophones, and they are all Yamaha. But the soprano saxophone one is Selma, and that's what I have. But soon I'll have other ranges of it as well.
So as it stands now, you have how many in all?
I have 5.
You have 5 in all.
5.
How expensive are they?
Ish. This one is a professional one, and this in 2008 I got it in 2008, and the cost of it was $4,500 US.
That year they get out.
Maybe I'll try. 08.
$4,500.
Maybe I'll try.
Choppable dollars. That year now I'm working. Wow.
Yeah, professional ones. More expensive than the beginners one or the intermediate. Yeah.
So if you are being given your lifetime funds, as in finances, would you put that investment into buying this instrument?
In fact, I would get another instrument for myself, and I would try as much as possible to have all the kind of instruments I would want to have in my life, in my own house or in my own lab. Because the joy of what I do is my instrument. What I've become is as a result of touching this instrument every day. Into AME tool. Into Seminya, if there is any advanced, saxophone that is even much more better than this one, if I have the chance or the opportunity, definitely I'll get it.
So on a usual day when you are going for your shows and your concerts, how many do you go with? Do you go with just one?
I just go with one, but I carry other essential accessories. Because sometimes ube call show be na, maybe somebody is just coming to say hi to you, and there'll be a defect on probably the reed, near make it sound low. And anyway.
Oh, okay.
And when it gets spoiled, that's it. You need a new one. So I have some little things, and I have oil. I have a little screwdriver, in case I play or I test my instrument.
So you treat this like a car. You have oil and screwdrivers all for it.
Yeah, because we'll try before we go stage, or say we'll try and make sure say keys ni na yejuma. Yes, I bet me I disappoint you.
Have you been disappointed by the instrument before?
Very well. Very well, pa. And that is out of negligence. It is since I learned a lesson from that. National Theatre. They called me on stage to come and perform. And I'm a key way, baku way. I came say, And the thing is that because what I was playing was in a key that I hardly engaged that key. Until I wasn't aware. Until every time when I made ball solo, I made chord down, me chord down. Me touch it, then he played some funny note. I went like, what?
What flatty?
And I went my flatty, but I went again and the same thing. Then I stopped going there until me changing me alterations. So I made the free stage. Can you imagine? Say me free stage, and I was looking at it. Then I didn't pop it up. Me have free stage, It's always best for you to have your accessories or little things. Check your instrument before you walk on stage.
Wow, interesting conversation. Now I'm sure you would want to do something before my panel members will come in here. Maybe anything you want to do for us. I have 1 or 2 questions more, but before we wrap up that, anything you want to do for the
I'll
listeners?
Do something that you guys already know. Mr.
Beautiful. And George Britton says I should tell you that he is a great fan. He is a great fan to you. Any day. Now, doing this, when an artist does a sax version of a song, who owns the right? Because I think some issue has come up before. My producer called us to discuss something like that before. I think someone did a sax version of one Sarkodie song, and the ownership became an issue or something like that.
The version is for the one who did that version.
As in, for instance, if you did the Wuta Kotosa version, it is for you. Even though you did it on their beat?
Yes, the version is my version. The version is my version.
What happened to their original creation?
Yes, the right thing to do is when you want to do a sax version, you go through the right channel. Speak to the one who owns the song and probably go like, okay, I like the song. I would want to do a version of the song. As I say. Now, however it is, it's your prerogative, or you decide, whatever you guys want to do with that discussion. And then you do your sax version. And mostly, to me, sax versions are main tone. I don't sell it. I don't sell it. I put it out there. It's my prerogative. I put it out there for people to listen to. and to see another dimension of the song. That is here, and it works for both sides. But you know, if you're going to market it and make money out of it, it's somebody's earlier creation. And I also offer, and you've polished it and done it, you know, your way. But there should be some kind of understanding
for
between,
it. So are there some songs you've done? Like which one and which one?
I must say I don't know, but I think I'm the first person who did Beyonce's "Crazy in Love" sax version.
Oh, okay.
The whole, you know, total rearrangement and everything is online. You can listen to it. And I've done a lot. I've done Nana Burroughs, Ahayede. I've done Kwabna's Mayor. I've done quite some sax versions. I did it because I love the song and I wanted, you know, the masses to see a different dimension of the song.
Now, apart from that, do you have your own collections, your own creatives that you've done that can be, say, put on an album or something? For
Yes.
Okay.
I have an album. I have 2 albums, you know, under my belt. The first one was Cinco's Jazz, and the second one, which is the one that's currently, you know, out there, is Shades of My Reality, and they are all online. I even have a copy for you, actually.
Good.
Yeah,
good,
I have a hard copy for you because
nice.
Some of you know, you actually need to have the original hard
so
copy.
we can feel it in our palms.
Exactly. Those are what I have. Currently, I'm working on my new album, and it's gonna be ready by the end of the year.
Where do you sell them?
Online.
Okay.
And also at the moment you can find my songs hard copies at Koala, all the koalas in Accra. And also Holiday Inn.
Oh, okay. You have your hard copies on their shelves.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
My panel members will now come in. That I have Coach Chief Charles, Professor Mike Yamua, Arnold Mensah, Elevanyo. Guys, I believe you can now ask. But Steve, do you sing as well? Do you sing?
Yes. On my album, I do my own, you know, backups, you know, on my songs. And I'm not a professional singer though. But it sounds good. It sounds good. Singing it there and share that near my profession. Saxophone my profession. But singing you know, in the studio. And also I wanted to say that, you know, those who are going to be coming for the Palma Festival,
okay, they will get the album to buy as well.
To pick up,
my next question doesn't make sense, but forgive me. The act of no, it doesn't make sense to me, but I still want to ask.
Okay.
The act of playing the sax, which of the sexes really love it? Do you think it is a thing for Sammy? I told you it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Which of the sexes really love it? Is it the male or the female?
I think the women kind of gravitate towards the saxophone more than the men. And I think the men also, but just that they don't really show it. As I said, they try to hold it back, you know. But the women easily
start,
you know, who starts I don't know, you know, and that kind of thing. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things. The ladies gravitate to the saxophone.
I told you it wouldn't make sense. All right, so it's time for my panel members to also put in their 1 and 2s. I started with Chief Charles, that I have called Mike Yamua.
Steve Bedi, congrats.
Thank you, Chief.
You know, he's a testament to the fact that regardless of what you set out to do, if you keep at it, you'd stand out.
Yeah.
There aren't that many sax or trumpeters around, and oftentimes they become section players.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they'll just call them to the studio, they'll play a line or two, improvise something on the song, and then go their way. But for him, he's able to, you know, carve a niche for himself, and he stood out very, very well. I've met you at several places a long time ago.
I see.
When you began as a young, and I'm glad that you've come this far.
Thank you.
Sammy asked a question regarding the
senseless one.
No, regarding performing other people's works. I think it's a bit of a dicey area. Because, for instance, if I call you to improvise something on my song, that particular improvisation is yours.
Yes.
Because that comes straight from you.
Yeah.
But as regards maybe the beat or the melody lines of the song, if you pick from the melody lines of the song, that definitely is mine.
Yeah.
Because what sax or trumpet or any of the instruments I believe does is that he's able to explore the highs and the lows of the melody, which oftentimes perhaps the human voice is unable to go.
Yes.
Because you're able to perform some acrobatics on the melody lines.
Yeah.
So for me, it becomes a bit of a dicey area. The question is, so then if on the same melody you're able to do some improvisations on the highs and the lows, those ones, do they still belong to the owner of the song or yours?
Once it's coming from your instrument, it's your intellectual property.
Okay, even though it is based on somebody's melody.
It's your work.
Anyway, but you see, whether on someone's work or your own thing, sax, it's amazing how, my song, I Cannot Fail, that of course was just telling me that the intro of that song should have had some serious sax lines. We had not even thought about Steve coming in. I told him that I've done a worship version that has some trumpet lines. So I think that with what he does, it doesn't only appeal to women, believe you me. We're all males here, but when you were done with the improvise you did on that half course, you got a standing ovation. So I think the feeling is equally, and I mean, generally, it tells on men as well as it does on women. I think you are doing something great.
Thank you.
If I were younger, I perhaps would come for
it's not
tutoring.
Too late. You can still do
I know, right?
No,
congrats, bro.
The lungs are weak.
It's a
born from an Emma.
It's a lie.
Thank you so much, Chief Charles. Time with Steve Bedi. All right, so that I have go. Professor Mike Yamua is next.
Sammy, Steve there. On any ejuma wasubesho.
Sikane Ojika Akesiana.
Steve international player.
I know. Tell me about Africa's finest.
Sammy, you know what?
But I'm Africa's finest. Wow.
Everybody wants to work with Steve. Everybody wants to because the way he plays. You see, when you put him the 4-down beat, you see how he improvised. And the most painful thing today, my sound in our studio. Because the sound was in the headset. If the sound had come into the studio, we could have filmed it and I would have used it. You understand? So,
but I can get a film for you.
You no have problem. To.
You should then later say off air there.
I mean, it's incredible. You see, when you understand music and you hear him, the last time I was listening to you on Joy FM when you were playing on Doreen Ando's show.
Yeah.
And Doreen was going crazy. It was like people say you should come tomorrow. I tell you, I mean, when you understand music and you hear some of these things, it wows you. It makes you feel like, wow, Charlie, now you're doing fire. So I mean, Steve is the best. Steve is an international player. To work with Steve, you need to gym your pocket. Yeah, that's factual. There is never a song that Steve has played in your classic. You can name them. It's an assignment. Anybody could take it on.
Thank you.
Check every work he has had a touch on. It's pure class. From Kojentry to Uta to Kwabna. Oh no, boy, be a crime, mami.
Yeah.
I mean, check all those songs. They are classics. And even when you hear his renditions, I heard him play Wish Me Well.
Yeah.
When you hear them, you're going to be like, Charlie, this guy is on some different level. But the one you played on my beat today,
you still want to take it.
I'll go use it.
Hard vibes be with the brain.
Whatever I'm using.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Steve, before Mike Yamwa comes in, is it true that those who play the sax, they don't do alcohol? Is it true?
I can't say yes.
Here, when you do more alcohol, the lungs cannot function properly.
In fact, health-wise, let's be honest and put this right. If you are an alcoholic and you are playing the instrument, like this
air instrument,
it might be difficult for you, at the time because your lungs might be growing weaker, and because of the alcohol and stuff like that. But for me, I still do alcohol, not all the time, occasionally when I feel like, but it's on a very
minimal.
Very, very low.
You don't do like that half cool. Half cool goes there on the long through.
So basically, it's not good. It's not good for a woodwind or a wind, player, because it may affect you in the long run. Exercise, and just imagine when you're drunk. Or maybe you have a hangover and you're trying to exercise and that thing would affect you.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think if somebody is hearing us, talk about this, it's about time they need to, shun it and concentrate. I'm not saying there shouldn't be any alcohol in your system, but
to the minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Prof. Close the show for me. Close the show for me. Our time is up.
We've always said that class is permanent.
Yeah.
And the form is temporary.
Okay.
And I think Steve is a living testimony of that. So I'm an advocate of having diverse music within our space. And if you realize during the Greater Works Conference, I even had I made a post to that effect and linked it to years, because and people were surprised, like, how come a musical a Christian event, but you have jazz, you have choral music, you have like the classical music, and people were like, no, you see, the church is not as static as people think. So even if within the church, a church setting, you have all these talents given the opportunity to shine, why not some of our secular stages we have in Ghana, and even on radio? That's the argument I was making. On radio, because you read, I don't know if you the Zama band for ICG, you read, even during the jazz music is integral part of their worship, and these are musicians who are living that, and they are making money out of that even within the church. I don't want to be like, and then the jazz, but it has found its place, and they forced it on people. People loved it. Sometimes if you saw the you can check anytime they had their session, the jazz, you should see the environment, total change. So I believe in diversity, and of course he came with something. Of course, he's not the first saxophonist, but something that lagged within our space, and we read that we can always incorporate this in what we have, so that we can have a larger space for everybody to fit in. Otherwise, we become a one-way people. Everybody is going on this tangent, and then we all go. So for me, I will always encourage such, if I'll call it, deviants. And when they stand out, they begin to make the money. That's why of course said, no, if you don't have money, don't employ.
Don't try him.
Yes, because they are the best, and the best comes with what?
Expensive charges. I know, right?
Kudos.
All right, thank you so much. All right, guys, it has been good, and I want to get maybe your business contact for the people out there, those who would want to contact you later, those who would want your albums later. If there's any business contact to share with them, why not?
Yeah. If you want my album,
okay,
you can call 0243 23 9.
Let me also write it. Let me also write it so I can provide it later. 0243